we go. Welcome to the 5th episode of my little gameplay as South Africa, where I try in the Warhammer Age of Strife era to take over the world and succeed or become the largest nation or whatever. It's actually still a bit too loud. This will be a rather boring episode because I will only be building industry, so, I doubt anybody is going to attack me, and it's going to be mostly me building more industry. I'm a believer in the Chinese model of economic growth in that you first build your industry, trade with others, and when you have a lot of stuff and a lot of industry, you then attack everybody. So here's my little South Africa. I took the Bantu in the middle part with Abjedu because I have to expand pretty early on or I won't be powerful enough to take on anybody else. And the Achaemenids lost to the other guys and turned into Gatapania. And nobody else has really expanded, but there have been a fair number of civil wars and things of that nature. North America is about to have its civil war. So, still don't have some of these units on the template model. I have a lot of power armor in reserve, but that's about it. Because you can't build these guys because I don't have the special forces cap yet. But soon I will. So this will be a boring gameplay. I'm going with the resources first model. And I don't care about the airplanes. In fact, I could go without the airplanes. I have one airport here, and the range of my aircraft is pretty minuscule. I picked South Africa because I'm also playing in the supposedly top-end economic simulator, which has some bugs, but does seem to be the best real-world political or economic simulator I've played, Masters of the World. It has a lot of bugs in it, but it has a lot of potential. I'm interested in seeing what it would be like if it was actually modded by somebody of this professional quality. But I'm also playing Madagascar in that one, the fifth poorest nation on the planet. And I'm liking what I'm doing with the Madagascarese. It's going much better than I expected, but it's still pretty low. But I'm hoping I'm gonna get a working space program by the 2030s, 20 years from the game start of 2014. Hoping I'll get a working space program, but doesn't seem likely considering it's the fifth poorest nation on the planet. But it's possible. I'm hoping that it works. And if it actually works, I will be as I, in the real world, actually work as a politician. You can even Google my name and see some of my campaigns and what have you. I will actually have a model instead of what every other politician in the history of politics do, just talk. I will have an actual model and I will have data that you can look at, and if it agrees with your view, you can do something with it. And if it shows that I'll be a terrifying dictator, you can, ignore it. It, to me, seems promising. So we will see. Still need more plat steel. I'm basically the only guy in the entire world economy who's trading with anybody. I think there's like one guy who's trading with anybody else. If you look at these resources, you can see that there's almost nobody trading. A few of these guys are, I can tell. But I'm exporting 50 while these guys, Brazil has a capacity of exporting 42 while I'm exporting 50. So still don't have enough to even power my domestic military production. So I'm gonna have to build a lot more of this export capacity. Let me actually go to the bottom because you're not in any thing. You get to be deployed. These South Americans are still way stronger than I am. Well, it's about even. It's about even. And I dislike that they disabled the Intel option on this one. It was really funny. They need to reinsert it because, according to the lore, the Emperor did pretend to be other people, had an actual intelligence apparatus. This gameplay will last for about an hour until my computer once again overheats and crashes. So keep that in mind. And I dislike that you can't ship garrisons over the water. So I had these guys in my previous gameplay, but I didn't have this province and I couldn't ship a garrison here. So the total support that I had never rose enough for me to be, anything compared to a major power, and it ended up blowing up my gameplay. Seems like I have a stockpile of heavy mortars. I'm thinking either I go with this one because some of these events may take my support of oligarchy down. And all my airplanes are on training because it produces very little experience, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to get to like a reasonable number of experience by the time I get the jet fighters, because then I'll upgrade the last jet fighter to be something that can actually, be considered a working plane. But I don't know how large their range is, but I'll take a look at it. It's not actually here, it's here. The Rocket Interceptor Mark III, but it's gonna take a long time to get there, so no rush. I may have around 200-300 experience in air by the time I get there, and then I'll upgrade the range and everything, and it might be nice. Wondering if I'm the only guy with an airport on the entire planet. Seems like I am. Who knows though? I don't know if I can actually see airports in other countries. And you need to change these so that it's not two guys with the same name. You have to change them so that it's like the Wunisk Sonic Hagate and the Autocratic Sonic Hagate or whatever. But there's a lot of things, and this is in beta, so I'm just saying things that I notice. But for beta, it's actually pretty good. So should I take Mid Africa as 16 to 85, 13 to 79? This is smaller, I think. Yeah, this seems smaller. That was quick. I'm not ever gonna build mountaineers because I already have these guys, the special army guys. So let's build one of these, and you get top priority. These would be the early version Space Marines. I think I would call these guys, was it Iron Warriors? I don't even recall what they were called. But they definitely aren't Space Marines yet due to the low level of technological development. I'm about to have all the research technologies, which is very good. I think these could manage to be second lowest because upgrade is actually lower. Fighters, only fighters. to approach balance in my trade. Have to have the export focus or what have you to get the research benefit. If you want to see what I would do in real world economic terms, I recommend watching the Masters gameplay. If you want to see me try to have a unified Scandinavia so that we can finally chill in, stop hating and murdering each other up here in the north, then watch my Monday gameplay. I'm also playing Stellaris from the nuclear war starting. Imperium started to expand. They'll soon declare war on everybody and have the civil war with the, I think, Iron Men or whatever. Let's see if there's anything I can do to improve these guys. Suppose I could. Huh. I wonder why there are convoys in the game when you can't actually supply guys like that on your edge. There we go. Imperium declared war on everybody and they're about to be overrun. They might actually survive this time around. Seems like they will survive. And then they'll murder me in the end. And I don't mean a rush. But though having a hive city is completely gonna crash my economy. But at least I'll have a lot of manpower. So this is still confusing. Here it says 3.3% of the population, and here it says 0.589. So which is it? I'd be interested to know. Now we finally reach a little bit into the opponent's territory with that station. Okay, so the Imperium wasn't overrun this time. They have a pretty sizable army. Laptop's getting hot and burns my fingers. So Martians are here. Why does this not give me information on these guys? That still has to be a typo. its flavor. And they also removed the experience tree for the commanders, which was a weird choice. screen is starting to flicker due to the heat. Figured out that it's actually the recording software that's causing the heat problems and not the game itself. Had only the recording software running in the background without recording anything, and the GPU temp went to 98. True Minmatar technology always looks like it's about to explode on its own. Yeah. With the radar station based there, I'd actually be able to scan the South Pole as well. Find those weird guys that aren't modeled in this that live at the South Pole. The Polar Fortress. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If I were the Emperor, and in this game, if I were to win, I would refill the oceans. Not perhaps enough to destroy the hive cities on the coastline, but at least a few dozen meters. When my stability gets to 100, I'm gonna get the guns of the locals. And then wait for the stability to get to 100 again. At least this time I'm not gonna run out of manpower. We're getting to a point where we can slowly start to build military factories. It's good. I think I should improve the infrastructure in all these provinces on the outside, which also support me. That might be a good idea. And I still think that when one of these provinces reaches 50-50 unlocked, it should upgrade into a hive city. That'd be nice. Would require a lot of coding though. I'm not sure if the engine can even support that. And when you nuke a hive city, it should become plains. America. Nobody's even friendly with me. Now I'm finally resource balanced. So not gonna be ready for war by the end of 96 like I thought. By the way, if you're interested in where all my money is going and what I'm saving it for, you should watch the video titled Sterling Wolfram Engine. I'm gonna try to patent and build a prototype of that, but it's gonna take me a freaking decade. The current rate that I'm getting money. Does this not cover land because it doesn't say Edinburgh? I think that might be a bug. Should really be hired as a programmer or helper for this thing so I could make a full bug list of everything I've seen and have them all implemented in like 50 years. Really tempted to go down in the resource trade, but I won't before. Thunder Warriors they were called. But I won't until I have the full research and such. The Thunder War Rebellion still starts too early. See if the Emperor survives this one. That's not a Thunder Warrior, that's a Custodes. This is a little bit faster economic growth than I was managing to do in the Masters thing, but not by far. Not by far. We were managing 5 to 7% yearly growth, peaking at around 10. Surprising things happen when you increase the minimum wage. When people actually have money to buy things. And then you increase the value added tax and decrease corporate tax, and then you solve the unemployment issue. And once unemployment is solved, you get a lot more money to yourself that used to be going to support the unemployed people. Then you pay back the debts, and then you get even more money, and then you invest in your country, and turns out things actually work quite well. So it seems like radar stations have no use if they don't scan the land as well, because nobody ain't gonna have an air force in this game. Huh. And they're now for some reason marked as a tank unit. And this should have the options of the NATO symbols. But what you gonna do? Didn't demobilize when I was fighting the Banda, so I still get the scraping the barrel minimums or negatives, even though I have a lot of manpower. Door beats us. Yeah, building into the infrastructure.